Get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, happy Tuesday, all. I hope you guys are doing well. I am up. I've been up for quite some time. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been pretty darn busy this morning. So we've got lives all day long today, and here's why. Because this new case with Kiely Rodni, there's a lot of stuff going in here. You know, I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes on this particular, just to try to find out as much information as possible. I do have some updates. to bring to the audience. And it's, by the time we talk about, like yesterday, I had several cases, updates, and stuff I wanted to go over with other cases. We've got a lot of stuff going on right now. Don't know where it's all coming from, but we got a lot of stuff going on. So, I've decided I'm working all day anyways, so we might as well do some lives. So if you haven't noticed, we have several lives that are upcoming today. We're going to be talking about Kiely Rodni right now, and maybe some other stuff. Around 1 o'clock, we're going to break. We're going to give some updates on the Dylan Round case. So that's going to be an upcoming live at 1. And then tonight, we're going to have Paul and Miranda, one of the members or multiple members of the family for Paul and Miranda, as well as some other creators coming on panel tonight at 6 p.m. for an update on Paola Miranda Rosa. She's the gal that's here from the state of Florida that we've been searching the swamp. We tagged her as lost in the swamp. And, the family's a little frustrated. They feel just left to deal with all of this themselves. Like law enforcement gave them 48 hours and that's it. Call them if you hear anything. So, again, we've got several lives going on today. I hope you guys can attend all of them. If you can't, but go back there, go to the page and set your notifications for each and every one of those if you would like to catch those throughout the day. Tomorrow and the rest of this week may be around the same, depending on how much information is rolled out on one or a number of these cases, because again, I'm just unable to get to all of them in the morning live stream. So today we're going to have a morning live stream, a lunchtime live stream, and an evening live stream. I hope all of you guys can attend all of them, but if you can't, you guys can be part of the replay crew, right? So good morning, everyone. Crazy Prepper Linda, the first to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty and Channel. Thank you for being here. Followed by Guidance in Life with TLC, followed by ZZT. Nice to see you guys, ladies, here this morning. Emma Lou, Julia T, Gigi for Life, Mallory Young. Nice to see you, honey. Misty D, Moon Shadow, nice to see you as well. Sharon Perez, Karen Davis, Susie Anna from Louisiana is having to hold her eyelids open this morning with toothpicks. I miss her already. I have to say, I had an enjoyable time. I wish she didn't go back so soon. It's not very often Bullhorn Betty gets visits, so I really do treasure the times that I get to have. Nice to see you, Debbie. Evelyn. Justice for All has blessed us with his beautiful presence this morning. It is nice to see you. Sonia, nice to see you as well. Karen, Mary. And Justice, I really would, so probably not today, maybe tomorrow or Thursday, I would like to do kind of a Summer Wells recap, and then I would like to go over the theory Mary and Jeannie presented to everybody on the Chris McDonough show. And I would like to see if you would be willing to come on panel sometime tomorrow or Thursday to work with me. I'm also going to be extending my hand to Marissa if she's not too busy to go over the recap, just to get everybody's opinion. The people that I know that went out there, I know that did really tried to get some information. I'd really like to get those people together on panel and have a discussion about what we've learned and also about the theory. We heard some pretty damning information from, very believable information as well from Mary and Jeannie. And I'm also going to see what I can do, But anyways, that's kind of like where I'm going with all of this. And hopefully, if you'd like to be a part of it, I'll get you over the information. Rhonda, nice to see you. Jackie, I think I already said good morning to you. Misty D, but if I didn't, good morning. Mary, Oh, Smiley Story. It's nice to have you here this morning. Thanks for being here. Team Rose is in the house. Caribbean Kool-Aid. Wild Still Horses. Nice to see you. Gigi for Life. Victoria. Chatty Jen. Nice to see you as well. Karen G. Tammy T. Julia T. Mary Murphy. Nice to see you. Magic. Or Moonlight Magic. I really do like that name. Moni, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have on here that I haven't said? Wendy, good morning. Chadwell, nice to see you as well. Lexi Texie. And Joan. I think that's about it. Dubai, Dubai, good morning. Kathleen, Quinny. Oh, nice to see you, Quinny. I see you, honey. Stephanie. Harley's World. We got a lot of people in here this morning. Nice to see you guys all. Ruby Pearl, Brittany. I think that's about it. Let's see if there's anybody else I missed. If I missed you guys, oh, Elizabeth, 17, nice to see you as well. Betty fan, and Forensic Psych. Nice to see you guys all here this morning. Just it's kind of one of those days. Robert's Girl, nice to see you as well. Oh, Connie Lynn. That's cute. So, there's just a lot of stuff going on YouTube related to this Kiely Rodni, and I have to say a lot of believable stuff. I'm very confused. I'm very confused about this case. If I'm this confused, I have to believe all of you guys are just sitting there, just scratching your head saying, I don't know, what to believe here. Do we have these horrible, despicable kids? Or is this just a case of a kid that just got overly intoxicated and made a stupid, horrible decision? Or was it something else? Was this stranger danger? Lots of stuff. Hey, Gatorbait, nice to see you. What was this? We need, some clarification. I will tell you this. This is what I can tell you. There is a source, okay, that is close to, that's out there in this area, okay? They have let me know. Law enforcement's not really looking at these children. I just want to let you guys know. Law enforcement's not looking at Jagger. They're not looking at, Mags or from the community standpoint. It appears in all respect that these kids are really trying to help. And that's from boots on the ground in that area. Okay. Now, I know we don't know what's going on. This is highly suspect. This poor girl, this beautiful young girl just disappeared. She went to a party, the end of summer party with some of her friends, and boom, she's gone. We know that there was alcohol out there. We know that there was other substances out there, but she's gone. And everybody, when you have a mystery, and that's what this is right now. This is a mystery. When you have this mystery, people can be wildly creative. Not that their creativity, not that what they're thinking couldn't be. And, as Johnny B would say, our new guy that's on YouTube, if you guys haven't had a chance to, hear him or see him, Johnny B Live, I believe is his handle here on YouTube. He states speculation has made a way to a lot of fact finding. So I'm not opposed to speculation. Actually, love it. Welcome it. But I just feel like, sometimes because we're in true crime and we see some of the horrible stuff, that sometimes our minds just kind of navigate to the negative, like the worst of the worst that it could possibly be. Sometimes I feel like we just dive right in, that we just lose a little bit of I don't know, just we're not processing like their statements didn't match. That must be them. They must be responsible, right? Like I kind of feel like we go there sometimes that that there's like I just feel like nobody really steps back and says, guys, these are young kids. They were out there getting wasted. Somebody probably made a real stupid decision. Like I feel like we hear some, and not only that, but everybody's attacking on this black hoodie versus the white hoodie thing. Guys, this could be very easily explained. They were drinking. Many of us have had alcoholic beverages. How many times, like wine is my kicker. Like if I drink wine, I start getting a little flush on the forehead, and it's just with wine. It's just with wine. So maybe she did go there in a hoodie, and maybe she was running around, got a little hot, threw the hoodie in the back seat. When she went back again to charge her phone, started getting a little cold. Maybe it was getting a little bit darker. Maybe it was getting a little more chilly out there by the lake. And she reaches back there and just grabs a hoodie and puts it on. And it just happens to be a different hoodie than the one she threw back there. Yeah. So Justice is saying that he talks to Jagger daily. He just wants Kiely found. Yes, they are exes, but they remain good friends, as many people in high school do. Again, when you're in high school, you're still finding your type. You're still exploring with yourself. You're still, trying to find who makes you feel good. So, you kind of rotate boyfriends. It's not really that uncommon. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we always talk about the weird people that are friends and never bother helping out and never want anything to do with the searching and the search efforts, and how odd and awkward that appears. And then when we find somebody that is going out there, that is helping, that wants their friend found, that's super concerned about the person, had a more of an intimate relationship with that person, whether they do or not, you still kind of have that love for that person. I don't know if the love for these people ever go away. Once you love somebody, you kind of love them, whether it worked out or not, right? So you got this man that's going around, that's really trying. He's taking, talking to media. He's really getting out. He's a young man. He's still finding his way in this world. And then, this horrible thing happens, and he's doing his absolute best. Again, a young guy, a teenager, just doing everything he can to help his friend. And then the attacks come, and it's like, you're not doing this right, and you're not doing that right. Who has the flippin' book on how to search for your friend that disappeared from a party? Where's the book and the guidelines and the steps that you're supposed to take? And you're supposed, I mean, do they teach this in high school? Where's the class? Sign me up. So I just, I really feel bad for these kids. My heart's just bleeding for them. I never really got that vibe. Many of you guys know I've never gotten that vibe, but we have to talk about it, right? We have to talk about the friends, just like, in all these cases, we have to talk about all the possibilities that could have happened. Because if we don't talk about all the possibilities that could have happened, then we're leaving something that's not being explored, and that may be the right avenue. So, I just feel like, all these kids, despite what everybody wants to think, and despite, some age differences and stuff, when I was 16 and I was going to parties and stuff like that, you tend to run into people that are older. You tend to click with maybe some people that are older. That's, to me, is not like major red flags. A chick being 22 or 18 and her being 16, to me is not, if it's a male, maybe, but if it's a female, I mean, I had older female friends when I was younger. I didn't really like hanging out with younger people because, they were so, I don't know. I had an old soul, that's what all my friends always said. I always had an old soul, and I believe that. Many people think Sammy knows something, maybe she does. Maybe and this is where I have the problem, is that people aren't taking into consideration that Sammy was just as drunk as Kiely. Like, she expresses they were hanging out all night long. People were wanting them to do this and wanting them to do that. They grabbed drinks. Sammy went over here. That sounds, I'm viewing this, and that sounds like every party I've ever went to. But this illusion that Sammy wasn't near as intoxicated as Kiely, but they were at the party drinking together, a lot of this confusion could really, truly be 100% explained by the amount of alcohol and substances at this party. Again, in a prime example, a friend, we were just talking about it yesterday. We were on the phone with our friends. We come back from parties where we wake up the next morning and forget even coming home. Friends are calling everybody. What the hell happened last night? Oh, you did this. No, I didn't. Oh, yes, you did. Oh, well, I remember you doing this. Nah, I didn't do that. Yeah, you did, So it's like, then we start talking and then the pieces that I forgot about, somebody else remembers, and the pieces that they forgot about, maybe somebody else remembered. And then next thing you know, you're talking and it's like, oh, wow, this happened. But that doesn't mean that the order that you guys discussed it in, it actually happened in that order. Because remember, we were all pretty much plastered. So, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. So I've pinned the link to the top. I'm actually going to open up the phone lines. We're going to go over some updates with this case shortly. But for right now, we're just going to open up the phone lines and open up the panel because I'm just very interested. I'm confused, folks. I'm confused. I don't know what to think. I really don't. I feel like I just don't have the information I need to go one way or another. Right now, in my mind, she could have gotten into a serious wreck and no longer with us, and we're just trying to find her. Her friends could be these horrible, despicable people that conned and scammed and manipulated and just wanted to go after her and take her out. Or she ran into foul play at the party with somebody she didn't even know. Or a combination of a couple things. Like she left the party and was at a stoplight and, she was carjacked. There's literally an enormous amount of possibilities when it comes to this case. Interesting. Let me see what we got going on here. With all due respect, Andrew, this case information has changed. Case info has changed in summer. Should we feel that way about her case? Well, no. The difference is, Mama Bear, I was actually out there. I actually did due diligence in the case of Summer Wells. This case related to Kiely. I'm sitting at home. I haven't done one stick of information gathering out there. Was there things going on in that home we don't know about? What kind of history do the kids have? I don't have any of those interviews. I don't have any, I have no basis, for those that are wondering, I have no basis to make a determination. We're, the whole entire world is attacking children right now because some statements aren't adding up. That could equate to those children being heavily intoxicated when events took place, is all I'm saying. There's a difference for me. And again, my statements are not for my audience. They're for me personally. But as far as Summer Wells, Don Wells, I mean, I've had how many, 9 trips out there? 8 to 9 trips out to Rogersville, Tennessee. I've talked to many people out there. I have a good understanding of what the family was like, what kind of condition they lived in. You know, I had a lot more information to formulate my opinion and basis as opposed to this case. But with this case, there truly are a lot of possible and probable possibilities that could have happened to this young girl. That's not nefarious. There are a lot of things that could be nefarious that happened to this young girl. I'm just not willing to beat up a bunch of children because some statements at a party where there was drugs and alcohol at don't make sense. Like, I kind of expect it not to make sense. I kind of expect the stories to not line up 100%. And, you know, just saying. This is Betty.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you? What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I speaking with, first of all?
I just wanted to say that, like I put on the chat, but personally, I've driven home many times from parties and the bars and whatever when I told my friends, yes, I'm okay to drive. It's fine. You know, just stay here. And I shouldn't have been driving because I thought I was fine.
Yeah.
But I think we tend to do that just, you know, to get people off our back where we can go home and they can stay. I don't think this is as much about Sammy leaving her or letting her leave, whichever way it's happened, as what people are making it. I mean,
I think people really think badly of Sammy because she was going to get a ride with her, and then she decided not to get a ride with her and decided to leave her there. And really, Sammy was the last, according from what I can gather, Sammy appeared to be the last friend that she really knew at that party. So in essence, there was a lot of people there, but she really was being left alone. And I think a lot of people are mad about Sammy for doing that, because why would you, much older, you know better, why would you leave a young girl that's clearly intoxicated at a party with a bunch of people that you already said that the party was out of hand and it was a little scary and stuff like that? But are we angry with her so much that we are accusing her of this horrible, nefarious conduct because of her making a poor, you know, young person decision?
And I still feel with all my heart that she's in the water somewhere, because just like AWP, they find people all the time who've been in the water for years that they overlook, you know, and they say they've used sonar and whatever, but have they had time in every lake and every crevice that she could possibly have driven into?
Right. Because it's my understanding that they're really kind of focusing those water efforts right there at that pond, that Prosser pond.
Right.
And it's like, well, if she's not there, why are we, I mean, you got to look where, I mean, that is a strategy. I mean, you know that she was here. You need to look out from here and expand your search out. You know, I understand that point, but when are they going to start looking at the other bodies of water in and around there? And when are they going to take into consideration she could have made a wrong turn, or that maybe somebody else was driving her and they both wrecked? Are there other people missing from this party?
Right. Especially when there's nothing. I mean, there are no signs, nothing.
Yeah.
It has to be more.
And I think that's why people are jumping on the kids, saying you have to know more. What if they truly just don't?
Right, exactly. Because I think there are still some parents out there who would say, you've got to tell. Because the kids by now are going to say, well, maybe this happened. They're going to say to their parents, and some parents in that whole group would say, you've got to be honest and tell.
Yeah. And no, hold on just a second. Courtney, just to let you know, Courtney, I think something happened while she was driving her vehicle. So she veered off the road. She went into a lake. She went into a pond. She stuck in some trees. That she had a horrible accident that nobody has found yet. Not that she fell into the water, but like everything is in the water, like the car, the phone. I feel like that 12:33 mark was when whatever happened. I believe,
Exactly.
that is a good indicator, because people are saying, well, the phones are, water resistant, but are they? I mean, these children drop their phones all day long. And if there's cracks in the screen, that waterproof phone's no longer waterproof.
And it's only within so many feet of water anyway.
Yeah. I think it's like 19, maybe 30 feet for some.
Yeah.
They're
So
more,
it's deeper than that.
yeah. And and I'm not saying that the kids, I mean, for all the people here, I'm not saying the kids had nothing to do with anything that happened to her. I'm just saying that, what evidence do we have other than some kids that were at a party clearly drinking had inconsistent statements? I would think we would expect inconsistent statements from young people that are at a party drinking.
Exactly.
I mean, not that they're intentionally going out to lie. It's just the fact that everything is probably jumbled in their brain because they were intoxicated. And some of them were on other substances like pills and coke and shrooms and things that make your mind not process information as clearly as you would sober. And I'm just not there yet with these children. I mean, I've seen Magdalene just completely upset. I mean, to the point where her eyes are just swollen and red.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound to me like a girl that is being sneaky and conniving. That sounds like somebody that's really missing their friend. And maybe at first they didn't think it was as serious as it is. But now that we're approaching the 11th day, they're realizing that their friend may not be coming back. This is not a hoax. This is real. Because I'm telling you, if something happened to me, I would be, or one of my friends, I would be in something similar to Sammy, where we all just jump in and try to help out as much as we can, coordinating as much as we can. That is right. That is my personality right there. And for me to try to help, even if I had done a despicable thing like leave my friend at a party because I was drunk and I was just trying to get home, and I had a ride right then and there to get home. I knew I was getting home safe and I chose to take it. To now have to regret that decision for the rest of my life, know that decision has potentially harmed my friend in a grave manner, and then now have the entire social media world beating up on me because they think I had something to do with it because I made a horrible decision to leave my friend at a party. Kids make those decisions every day, and they do have sometimes very strong consequences to them. But it doesn't mean you had any part in what happened.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Olivia and I are actually talking about, a possible trip while we're over, close to Idaho and already on that side of the country, maybe stopping in and getting some boots on the ground out there just to see what's really going on. Because again, it's hard for me to make this big of a leap when I have literally no real information to go on. Because let's face it, folks, the factual information is this. This is all the factual information that we truly know is factual and 100%. We know that she took a picture of her at a convenience store at 6:08 p.m. We know her phone went offline at 12:33 p.m. We know that she was seen on video surveillance or video photography or something at that party with a white hoodie, which many people believe that these kids had attacked her before she even made it to a party, and she never even went to the party, and that was just the hoax. I mean, many people said that, and now we have law enforcement coming out saying, wait a minute, folks, she was at the party. She was at the party, and she was drinking. So far, everything that Sammy has said, outside of the fact that a hoodie was black versus a hoodie that's white, everything that Sammy has so far said has been fairly accurate. I mean, with the limited facts that we have.
Sammy keeps bringing up that they shared drinks and they shared this and they shared that. And I think she's saying that just to put the rumor at rest, or the thought at rest, that maybe she was drugged because Sammy was drinking the same thing.
Right. And people have to realize, you know, you could have two 16-year-olds drinking the exact same amount of alcohol, and one 16-year-old will not be able to function while the other 16-year-old may be able to function. It's how your
Right.
body metabolizes the alcohol within it. It depends on how drunk you get. We do have a standard. That means, you know, basically every drink you have, you know, has a point something, you know, blood alcohol content to it. So,
Right.
but your body, just because you drink, you know, 0.1 of alcohol, it doesn't mean you're falling over drunk just because it's the illegal limit in your state, or 0.08 is the legal limit in your state. You can be drunk at 0.05 depending on how your body metabolizes that alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, so it is, to me, you know, even if she was drinking the same alcohol as her, it doesn't mean that, you know, Kylie was less drunk than her, and maybe Sammy was even more drunk than Kylie. We don't know.
Right.
So that's what we have. That's all we have. A 608 picture offline at 12:33, and a video or photo clearly with Kylie at the party in a white hoodie with pink print. That's the facts that we know. Everything else people are talking online is speculation, unless, you know, some people are getting interviews with Sammy, some people are getting interviews with Jagger. Like Justin says, you know, he's speaking to Jagger almost daily. So now they're being able to have information that the rest of us don't have. They're able to get more context, more information. So I would definitely, you know, as more information comes in, would be changing, depending on what that information is, my thoughts as to what happened. But right now, to the general public, that's all we have is fact right now from law enforcement. How is that enough information to make a determination that these children were the worst people in the world, attacked her, murdered her, whatever they're trying to say happened to her, and that these kids did that? And then when you look at the facts, you realize that Jagger was 4 hours away, never even attended. And Magdalene, the third person that they thought was involved in it, didn't even stay at that party more than 10 minutes. So 2 of the 3 people that we thought were responsible for this horrible attack were nowhere to even be found. So it leaves Sammy. Now, are people pissed off that Sammy left her friend, or that Sammy truly has something to do with this conspiracy to get this girl gone?
Right.
So what are your thoughts? I'm confused.
I still think they're all just mad at Sammy because she's the only one, first of all, that's talked out, besides Jagger and Mags, what they've said. But Sammy's the one that everyone keeps going to, and she's probably like beating her head off a wall anyway, you know, knowing or not knowing. But I don't know. I still can't get out of my head that if something happened at that party and they took her away or something, someone would have seen something.
Yeah.
And spoke by now. Someone would have said something by now.
What if she got in her car, you know, and got ready to leave, and, you know, all these people were, you know, it sounded like 12:30 was like the drop dead time, you know, where a whole group of people decided to leave all at once. And it was probably the younger group, you know, the kids that were still in high school or going to college. You know, parents, they're still living with their parents. Their parents probably said, you need to be home by such and such time. That would have explained the mass caravan that left. Was she a part of that? Did she make a wrong turn when they got off that road? Did she go left instead of right? Did she go right instead of left? I mean, there's a number of things that I just, if people are blaming these children for inconsistent statements, I think that's sorely wrong, because they were all drinking and partying. Like,
and there's still so many things unknown for anybody to be putting any blame yet.
That's my thought.
Because these are children. They're still children.
Yeah.
Yes, they were doing adult things, making adult decisions, but in the grand scheme of things, they're children.
And how many times every single year do we hear about a child going to a party, getting intoxicated, and something gravely happened, whether they get in a car wreck, whether their car sinks, whether they've fallen off a cliff, whether they did something stupid and fell in the water and broke their neck. You know, you hear of these things happening around the country. Every year, a teenage child loses their life at a party just like this. And, you know, could she just be a statistic like the rest of the children with nothing nefarious?
She absolutely could.
I don't know. I feel bad now. I may do something. I may dig into this case a little more, and we may find some mind-blowing information and some major red flags. But everybody that I have so far seen on YouTube that is, blamed these children have only used unconfirmed facts to base that decision, or they blame it because Sammy has inconsistent statements. Those are the reasons. And those are not strong enough reasons for me to start pointing the finger and placing blame.
Right. And Julia T just said, but why are adults telling kids not to speak up? And that's what I go back to. It can't be every adult telling their kids that.
Yeah, and I think it's probably the older kids that came there with the substances, maybe the people that were the go-to person that is, very concerned about their own well-being and whether they get whether the word of mouth starts going around law enforcement that they are the go-to person. I have a funny feeling it's the go-to persons that are telling these young people, please don't let them know I was here. Don't cooperate. They will arrest you. They're doing that for self-preservation as opposed to this child. Because, again, they don't know this girl. These are older people. They don't know this girl. They don't want this person they don't know being a problem, a cog in the wheel, so to speak, of their enterprise.
Yeah.
That's my thought. I mean, I've been to parties where adults have been there and have said, don't let nobody know I was here. Nothing ever happened, but they let you know.
I have teenage kids.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, please be the cool one and buy the alcohol. No, I'm not the cool one.
Yeah. Kids are resourceful. We have to give it to the children. They are very resourceful.
Yeah. And another thing, while we're on here, I just have a quick question about the jewelry. I haven't seen anything about that. I keep seeing bits and pieces, but what is the jewelry all about?
So apparently she had this jewelry on. I think there's a couple reasons why they're bringing this jewelry up. One is so if anybody finds this jewelry anywhere, they can notify, because most likely where that jewelry is, she's probably not too far from, maybe, potentially.
Right.
The other would be if this truly was an abduction or a robbery that went wrong, that maybe they took those to pawn those and wants to make sure that everybody is aware, especially at pawn shops and things of that nature, that these necklaces exist. Or it's just, this is an identifying mark that they, identifying feature on her that they know that would probably identify her. And maybe they're using that. Like, for example, if she did, by chance go into a river or a lake, maybe that big necklace would, come off of her and be up on a shoreline or something like that where they find it. And they can say, I don't know. But I do know that law enforcement's come out multiple times to say that, they first came out and said that they believe that they're tagging this as an abduction, and they even told us not to get ourselves too concerned, that they're only doing this because they have not found her vehicle. And they let us know that up front, and they told us, this is the reason why we're saying that she's potentially abducted. Not that we really believe that there's any evidence of her abduction, but we can't find her car, so we're listing this as a potential abduction. Then they come out, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, and say, look, guys, We're not really looking at this case as an abduction or a foul play. We're actually conducting this more as a search and rescue. And that gave me the indicator that law enforcement is actually looking at this more so as an accident right now than any other option out there. And then I hear about these kids getting beat up on social media, and it's like, guys, are you guys not, paying attention to what law enforcement's saying? They're basically saying that they don't believe that this is an abduction. They don't believe that this is really, there's any nefarious means going on here. They even came out on their own social media accounts and says, hey guys, we're looking at this more as a search and rescue than really an abduction. Like, they've told us that.
Okay, I wasn't sure if the necklace had already been found or if that's what I wasn't sure, what I was missing in the whole thing.
Yeah,
so.
no. The jewelry hasn't been found. The car hasn't been found. She hasn't been found. Her phone hasn't been found. Literally no evidence of her have been found. And that's what's leading me to believe that they're all together. All of this stuff is together in one. And that's what's, kind of leading my train of thought that this is not really a nefarious situation. Yeah, we're mad at Sammy. Yeah, she left her friend, but again, these kids were young. They're all drinking. When you drink, no matter how smart you are, you can make stupid decisions. Sammy made one, it sounds like Kylie made one. That's kind of where, unless I get more information than what is out there and available to us as true fact, it's hard to make a determination. Right now, I haven't heard of any criminal conduct Sammy's ever done in the past. I've never heard that she's been a violent person in the past. I haven't heard, even with Don Wells, we knew he was a criminal for 30 flipping years from multiple states. We knew that, he was not a good guy. We knew that that Candace, when we looked into her, that she was not a good woman, that she had already lost children, that she pointed a shotgun at a social worker. We knew that these were violent people. We've got none of this information for any of the kids out there that we think may be responsible for where Kylie may have ended up. We've got none of that. I haven't even heard of this Sammy being mean to anybody. Like I haven't even, like, there's no person that's come out against Sammy. Like, we've got nothing. With Don Wells, we had, people that were close to the family telling us stuff about him, their neighbors telling us stuff about him. We had, the incident cards from that home. We had, police reports from that home. We had police calls from that home. I mean, we had a litany of information in that case that pointed, one, that there was no possibility of an abduction, and two, that these were some really bad parents. Here we've got nothing. We're going off of a couple statements that didn't quite line up with one another. That's our evidence for attacking these young kids.
Exactly. And I don't think that Sammy or Meg, either one, could have done anything and gotten away with it this long. I don't think, even by now, I know it hasn't been that long, but I think if they would have done anything to her,
they would have had to have been together. I mean, let's face it, Sammy is not equipped to take care of this whole planning and execution of this nefarious plot with Magdalene gone and Jagger being 4 hours away. I mean,
right. Even God forbid him being closer and his dad saying he was or whatever, but I don't think they could have pulled this off. I don't think they could have pulled this off.
But let's be honest, if they could have pulled this off, we have to agree that they would all need to be together and would all need to be working. I mean, making everybody having their own place. You can't leave one person to do all of the dirty work at that young age. Somebody would be bound to make a mistake. You would need two people because you'd need an alibi. You can't. Right. I mean, when you start really looking at how these kids could have planned and executed something like this that needed fine precision, and you look at the conduct, it just that to me doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I just really don't look at those girls and think that they would be completely capable of pulling something off like this where everything has disappeared.
Yeah.
Everything. And no one has found or heard anything since.
Right. It just doesn't ring true to me. I mean, I could be wrong. It's not the first time I'll be wrong. Trust me, they'll clip it. They'll make clip art out of it. Just be on the lookout for it. Bullhorn Betty made a mistake. It'll be out there.
I keep wondering if when all this is over, if they when they find her, if they're going to apologize to Jagger and Mags and
no, they won't. You know what I even said? If I'm wrong about Candace and Don, I will apologize to them. I will not only, I'm not talking about a written apology. Like I would go there in person and give them my apology. And if they would like me to record that apology to put up throughout social media, I would be happy to do so. You know, like I will do it, but I don't ever believe I will ever have to apologize to either Candace Grandis or Don Wells for anything of what I've said or anything. But if the day comes,
I don't think you will either.
If the day comes, I'm a big enough woman that I would do it.
Yeah, we all would, I'm sure.
So I hope those that have reached out to these children and said something bad, that when this does come, if it's not that, I hope you guys do something nice for these kids. They're dealing with grown-up problems, and I have to be honest, I think they're doing it very well and keeping their shit together.
Right. And they really are. I mean,
yeah.
At least off of the social media, they are.
Yeah. And I can't imagine being the parents of these children and watching them struggle through this and know that there's nothing I can do.
Would keep the parents, from letting any child speak out, and it may so far, is the backlash that these three have gotten already.
Yeah. It's just
where
not
if
fair.
anyone else puts it out there. But I still can't help feel, too, that Ron, is that his name, Ron, who had the cousins there? I think Ron was there. I don't think it was cousins. I think it was Ron.
You think it was that, where my friend, asking for a friend type of thing, I'm making a statement for a friend type of thing, but he was really there because he just knew a little too much detail.
Over and over. Several times he slipped up and then he would fix it real quick. And I thought, no, Ron was there.
Mm-hmm.
He was there.
Yeah.
He might have been one of the older guys, but who knows? Who knows?
Right.
But anyway,
and guys,
I'll be hearing someone else come up and speak.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for your perspective. It was helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, love.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So we're on the conversation right now of, what we think happened to this beautiful girl that disappeared from a party. There's a lot of people that are speculating that her friends had something to do with it. A lot of people are speculating that stranger danger, that some creep from this party saw her drunk and took advantage of her and may have done something bad to her. We have a lot of, questions related to this particular case. And for me, it's not enough to point the finger. Everybody, and it's funny because how do we make the determination of, what for me is how much work I've put into it, how much factual information have I been able to find that I myself consider factual. And typically those facts are stemmed from conversations I've had with people that are in and around the families and stuff like that. I've got none of that here. Like even Michael Vaughan, I'm not really in a position to state one way or another how I really feel about that case, because outside of what I've read and researched, I really have nothing for me that states one way or another. For me, I don't have that. Once I get out to Idaho, my thought process may very much change depending on what I uncover for myself. And, I really try hard that when I come here, especially especially when I'm ready to point the finger or, speculate or provide my opinion on a case. That has to be, once all the due diligence is done. I'm not willy-nilly about pointing the finger at anyone, despite what the popular belief and what the trolls and haters say on here. That's not the case. Whenever I like to point the finger at somebody, I want to make sure it's based upon information that I have uncovered or I have found that is factual information. I am not there yet with this case at all, not even close, because there are so many things that could have happened to Kiely that would explain all of this, every single bit of it. And that's where I lie, Now, Justice for All may have an interview with Jagger, and that interview with Jagger may change my mind. Or Ickmill's, interview with Sammy may change my mind based on what she says. But just the mere inconsistent statements, quite frankly, I would expect it. I would expect a lot of inconsistent statements from a lot of the party goers there, just for the mere fact that there was alcohol and substances at that party. Do I believe that they're intentionally lying? I'm not getting that vibe. I might get around her, and as soon as I am in her presence, may have just this horrible off vibe, almost like when I go to Ben Hill Road and I'm in front of that house on that road, and I can feel almost the evil coming off that road, off that hill. I feel that. That's the vibe I get when I'm standing in the presence of that property. That may be exactly how I feel when I meet her. It may change. But the mere inconsistent statements is not enough to sway me to say that these children had anything to do with this. I think a lot of people made a lot of poor decisions. And, I pray that there is nothing more nefarious than that. There may very well be. There may very well be. I don't know. I have literally zero information other than, let me tell you the factual information I've been able to ascertain thus far. We've already discussed this. We know she took a picture at 6:08. We know her phone went offline at 12:33. We know that she was last seen at that party. This has been confirmed by law enforcement in a white hoodie with pink lettering. The pink lettering stated Odd Future, and it was printed all over the sleeves, the front, the back, Odd Future. People believe there was a subliminal message in that hoodie. I don't believe there was a subliminal message in that hoodie as to why she was wearing. I don't. Those are the facts we have. We have those facts. The other facts that we have is that Jagger was 4 hours away. The other facts that we have is that Magdalene did truly, in fact, leave the party with her boyfriend several minutes after she arrived. I don't want to say 10, because what if 10 is 15? Now you're hearing people say, oh my God, she lied. It's just because people try to be specific. And sometimes when you're being specific, things just don't line up. If it wasn't for the drugs and alcohol, I would be more concerned with the inconsistent statements. If it wasn't for the drugs and alcohol, I think I would be I heard that he might be the person behind the Jenny Lynn. This is for you. I heard that Upchurch might be the person behind the $25,000 additional anonymous donation to Kiely's fund. For whatever reason, I do believe that he could be potentially behind that, because he really has taken an active role in talking about this case, and he is kind of entertaining when it comes to this particular case. He really believes that these friends know more. And, maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe people are seeing more than I'm seeing. I'm just not seeing it. I'm really not. I don't know. He's trying and passionate. Yeah, he is, Jackie. Haley, it's nice to see you here this morning. So we still have the phone lines open. We still have the chat up, the link in the top of the chat. If you guys have any statements, perspective, like I don't expect you guys to agree with Bullhorn Betty here. Like if you truly believe these children did it, I'm curious to hear. I really am. Sway me, move me, explain what I'm missing here. I need somebody to explain what I am missing here. Oh, thank you, Haley. I actually didn't blow dry it this morning. I just showered and that's why it's not styled. Usually I got to style it because my hair is all different lengths. So I've got to, but today it actually didn't turn out bad for just air drying. So, Upchurch also offered his car. Well, Upchurch, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you, man. If you're giving away free cars, Bullhorn Betty could use one. Pick me. Me next, right? So I'm listening that we only have like 100 likes in here, guys. And we got almost 250 people in here. So if you guys have not liked this video, please go out and like it. And then come back here, put your thumbs up in the chat and tell me what state you're from. And if you're not in the States, tell me what country you're from. I know we can all use a new ride, right? Looks like we're pulling everything together. That's what you guys are probably hearing, some beeps back here and in my phone. It's because of tonight's 6 o'clock meeting. The podcast with Paula's cousin, Cecilia. She will be here. We're going to have Caribbean Kool-Aid and Chronicles of Olivia on chat. Now, so far, that's the lineup right now for the 6 p.m. live. If you have not gone, or if you have not watched the live or have not asked to be notified, go to my channel, go into the videos, and you should see the other two scheduled podcasts for today. Make sure you're notified on both of them. This is Betty.
Good morning, Andra. How are you?
I am doing well. Who am I speaking with?
This is Amy from the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast.
Oh, well, hello, Amy. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's pretty hot here in Arkansas. We've had some bad heat advisories, and it's already getting hot.
Gotcha.
So,
what do you think about this whole Kiely Rodni saga?
Well, I left you a message I missed your live yesterday, but I left you a message because I am following this case through you.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me so much of a case here in Arkansas back in 1989, a girl named Olivia Janie Ward, who was a high school teenager at a party. She allegedly fell off a 9-inch porch, broke and died.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of controversy around that case. She's been exhumed 3 times, and every medical examiner has made a different determination.
Wow.
There was a lot of cover up in this case. It was in a small town in Marshall, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of cover up. There was a girl that was actually accused of killing her, and she had to literally leave town because of all the rumors and speculation.
Did they ever find out who was responsible or what happened to her?
Not. Her parents believe that these kids did something to her. this girl was a cheerleader, and they do believe that they did something to her. And the way that the details in the case, the way it was handled, I mean, they threw her in the back of a truck. They cleaned up the party, got rid of all the alcohol and everything, and drove her in the back of this truck into town. And she was wet and dirty and had sand up underneath her bra and stuff. And so, you know, she had been having problems with this girl, a girl named Stephanie, who was a cheerleader. And, you know, there was just a lot of cover up. And this girl's father was a judge, and, you know, in a small town, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
And who can cover things up, you know, especially cops' kids, judges' kids, lawyers' kids, things like that. So this is really reminiscent of Janie's case. But in this case with Kiely, you know, Janie was never missing. Kiely is missing.
Right.
She's missing, her car's missing, everything's missing. And I was from what you're saying, I don't think her friends, like Stephanie, you know, are involved in any kind of foul play. And I'm sure she's beating herself up bad enough for leaving her friend at the party.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think she needs anybody else to beat her up about it. But I was discussing with someone in your chat, Pebbles, and she was talking about the older people that were there.
Yeah.
So if Kiely was left there, highly intoxicated, with a bunch of older guys and strangers and whatnot, I would say lean more towards stranger danger, and that she could have, you know, made a bad decision and hooked up, not necessarily hooked up with one of these guys, but they just took advantage of her intoxication or whatever. And maybe they said, you know, why don't you let me drive you somewhere or take you home, or can you give me a ride home? And one thing led to another, and something very bad happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, that person could be hiding something. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
But you know what? I mean, there could be an explanation for, you know, for some of that too. You know, just because there was older people there doesn't necessarily mean, you know, were some of them partying with the younger girls or younger kids? Yeah, possibly. But would all of them? Because, you know, I've been at parties where there's a younger party going on and an older party going here. And, you know, we don't want the younger people mingling in with us. You know, if we saw a younger person, we'd tell them, you know, I think you need to go back to your party, your side of the, you know, party. I have to think that even with the older people, there was one responsible older person there that if would have saw a young lady, you know, being attacked or something like that, would have stepped in to help. But again, we don't know. And there are despicable people. We talk about them on here all the time. I would venture to say that would be, in my opinion, more probable than her friends, you know, concocting this elaborate scheme to get her gone.
Yeah. Well, you know, even when I was in high school and, you know, here in Arkansas, we partied at people's houses, but we partied out in the woods a lot, you know, at the pipelines or the river, or, you know, places, desolate places way back, you know, in the woods. And, so, you know, and you never know who's there. I mean, there's older people, there's younger people. You know, back when I was 16, it was okay to date a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, I had a 21-year-old boyfriend, but now that's, you know,
it's frowned upon.
Yeah, 5 will get you 10. Or, you know, but that is, I think that you have really are doing very well. And like I said, I'm learning about this case through listening to you. And I think you've thrown out a lot of great ideas of, speculating what could have happened to her, because, that is all we can do is speculate.
Yeah. And it's what we do in all the cases. That's what we do in all the cases. So just my speculation is just a little bit softer on this case, because I'm not seeing those glaring issues. And like you said, even with the case you're referring to, that girl had problems with this other girl. We haven't heard any of that. We haven't heard that there was some kind of, tiff in the group. We haven't heard any of that. You would think that if we're going to be pointing at Sammy, that there would have been some very profound, maybe they had a horrible fight months ago and just recently, got back together and, something like that. But here we have nothing. It was a newer friendship. What person would be so angry at somebody after just knowing them for a short period of time and wanting to hang out with them, thinking they're cool,
Right. I don't think that it doesn't sound to me like she's involved in any kind of foul play.
Yeah.
But, just keep in mind, and the police need to keep in mind that some of these kids are younger, they're underage, so they're underage drinking and underage drugging. Then you got the older people there, and they're worried about catching charges and contributing to the delinquency of a minor and whatnot. So there can be some lying and there can be some covering up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just not quite ready to, state that for me yet. I mean, I may end up changing my mind in the next week and say, they've got to know something more. But at this point, until the other avenues are exhausted, I'm just not really willing to make that leap, because again, we don't have any past confrontations in this group that we are aware of that are so noticeable that people would have brought up. There was none of that. There didn't appear to be any infighting. Two of the three people that people originally thought had something to do with it weren't even anywhere in the vicinity at the time that this happened. And as a matter of fact, in all respect, it sounds like all three of them weren't even in the vicinity when she disappeared. Because if we took Sammy's statement as true and she left her friend at the party, her friend was left at the party. All three of them were gone. They were not with her. So again, we can
I lean more towards some type of a stranger danger, incident. And that person could be hiding her car.
It may have been one of the adults yeah, but it might be one of the adults that's telling all these kids not to say anything. It could have been one of them.
Yeah, that's definitely true, especially if it's not your own parent telling you not to talk. I mean, I didn't raise my kids like that. My youngest daughter has found herself in situations with friends who were acting out and whatever, and her, a long time ago, one time her friend Abby ran away, and Chauncey got online and on Facebook, found out where she was. We went straight to her foster mother's house and went straight to the police.
Yeah.
That's the way I raised my kids. And then, like my oldest daughter, her best friend showed up at the house one morning. She got in trouble at school and she panicked and left and came to me, and I said, I'll handle it. And I called the school and talked to them and told them what was going on, and they assured me just bring her to school, she won't be in trouble. And I handled that kind of thing responsibly,
right.
And so that's the way I've raised my kids. But I would hope that none of them's actual parents are telling them to lie.
I didn't get that
they
vibe.
weren't there.
I didn't get that vibe. It sounded like I heard that when in the press conference, some adults are telling the kids not to cooperate. I didn't hear some parents are telling the kids to not to
Okay,
cooperate. I
okay.
heard some adults are asking the kids not to cooperate. Now I have a problem with that.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. That's a big red flag.
Yeah.
They're hiding something.
Right. And again, that's those adults. As far as we can see with these young kids, they're doing everything they can. They're getting the kids that were at the party together. They're getting, trying to get names, statements, get that all over to law enforcement. The kids, in my opinion, are doing everything they can. Are they going to make mistakes? Of course they are. Because again, tell me where the book is on how to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
At least they're out. At least they're in the public's eye. They're not running away. They're not hiding. They're trying. They're working.
Trying to do something.
Yeah, anything that they can. They're literally putting themselves in front of all of us, which some of us can be really nasty sharks out there.
Oh, I know.
Just tearing them up. And here they are doing everything that we ask of people to do in a situation like that. Be out there, be searching, be looking. Let the family know that you're there. Let the family know that you care. Do what you can to bring awareness to a missing person or somebody that's been, murdered or something like that. These kids are doing everything that I would expect from somebody that is searching for their loved one.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if this was my kid's friend, I would be, out there with them, helping them. And I mean, that's just the type of parent I am. But yeah, I hate that these kids are getting beat up. But that's going to happen.
It's going to happen no matter what.
If it's strangers that are beating them up about it, or if it's their own classmates or friends or
from what I hear, it's us. It's social media.
Any conclusions? Keep everything on the table. Everybody's a suspect. As Ronnie Lawson says.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and this whole water thing, I think that you talked about, that she could have made a wrong turn and whatnot. Very, very possible. And that's how that group, I forget the name of the group on YouTube that does the water searches and finds people that have been missing for 5, 10, 20 years. Mm-hmm. Do you know the name? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's been multiple of them. I mean, think about it. Adventures with a Purpose has found many of them. I mean, they're still finding people that have been gone.
Who I'm talking about. But yeah, they should be brought in, and because that's their specialty. Mm-hmm. That's what they do.
They're going to be there Friday, from what I hear.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
So hopefully we'll get some answers.
Like you said, rule some things out.
Yeah.
I wish we could rule some things out in the Summer Wells case, but we can't rule anything out.
Well, we've ruled a lot. We've ruled a lot out. Law enforcement is telling us they have it, but let's face it. I mean, and I brought this up yesterday. Out of all the cases that we follow here on YouTube and social media, how often do we have law enforcement coming out publicly and saying, oh, this person's cleared, this person's cleared, this person's cleared, this person's not cleared, this person's not cleared, we never hear that. So this idea that law enforcement is going to let us know who's cleared and who isn't, they're not going to. They're not going to.
No.
So... All right. Well, thank you so much for your perspective. Thank you for your input, and thank you for your call.
Okay, you're welcome.
Have
Take
a great
care.
day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So a lot of, some mixed feelings on this topic, some mixed feelings. Just wanted to give a shout out. We got Massachusetts, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Ohio, Cincinnati, London. Nice to see you. Well, I knew you were from London. People want to go out in public or to a party, someone has to stand around just observing. Yes, I agree with you, Courtney. Kentucky, we got Kentucky in the house. Ireland. Oh, we got some people from across the pond. We got Ireland, Scotland, Canada, Maryland, New Jersey, Arkansas, Texas, Illinois, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, South Jersey, Jersey. We got some Jersey people up in the house. Upstate New York, UK. Nice to see you guys. Massachusetts, South Jersey, Denmark. All the way from Denmark. Thank you, Suzanne. It's nice to see you here. Kentucky, Florida. We got some Florida people in the house. We need to do a little party in Florida, don't you think? Maybe something over in Orlando or something. Is that centrally located, or are we all on the West Coast? Virginia. Nice, nice. Australia. I see an Australia in here. Ontario. Nice to see you. Wow. Bullhorn Betty worldwide. New Zealand. Oh, I love New Zealand. I saw some photos of New Zealand. Some of the places you have there are just wow. Like, wow. Oh, Stoney's in the house. Hey, Stone. I hope you're doing well. Why don't you call in? Actually, let me just take a small little break. I'll be right back, and then we'll go. Stoney, I want you to call in when I get back. Give me just 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and I'll be back.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up.
I know, just right when we're getting into the song, it's like, oh no, why'd she have to take it back? Why'd she have to take it back? For those in here, we have over 250 people. If you have not had an opportunity to like this program, go ahead out there and like it, and then come back in so we can chat. Stony Stone. Phone number is up. Did we get a new member too? I just saw somebody so far behind in these. Okay. Thank you, Haley, for becoming our newest member. So sweet. Love it. Love it. Let's see, who else do we have in here? So, I mean, I'm just trying to give you guys, it's not that I'm saying nothing has happened. Nothing is going on. Oh, Bojangles from Missouri. Nice to see you. Can I call first? You can. Come on, Amy. Come on up. Come on up. So, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I have heart, you know? Maybe somebody put the heart back in my chest, made it go, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, they told me, they always say I'm heartless. Right? Sorry. I gotta get my little digs in every now and again, right? Here we go. Good morning, Amy.
I'm Betty. How you doing?
Good. What's shaking?
I'm so mixed on this thing. What happened to her? The first thing, with Adventures with Purpose coming this Friday. I'm gonna just hold out until they search, because they said that they don't consider an area searched until they've searched it. I don't know if you listened to their live stream. So I think that until they get in there and really look in the other areas and really expand the perimeter and what they haven't looked at, what the law enforcement and the other people haven't searched in, I'm just going to wait. And if they don't find anything, then I'm going to shift to like an abduction of some sort. I just think I'm going to hold my bet, and I like when I was that age, I never really I didn't go to parties like that. We didn't have things like that at my age. We just, when I was in my town, because I lived in Connecticut, and I think it's all different areas of the country, all the kids act differently. They party differently. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor, you're going to have these parties anyways. And it's very scary because like I used to go for instance, what I used to do, I used to go to underage, like they used to have clubs where you could be 18 to party and 21 to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have been in such a situation, but I wasn't there to drink. I wanted to just dance because I wasn't like the kids were in my town that all the kids went to the beach and hung out and drank. I hated alcohol. I wasn't interested in hanging. I just wanted to go listen to music and dance and do stuff like that. Like I was a little different. Mm-hmm. So I just don't know what goes on in those parties because I never really went. But all I can say is talking about adults and parties. When I went away to college my first year, there was an off-campus party, and one of the professors was there drinking and getting high with the kids. So all of this stuff goes on, and you never know. But I'm sure that if they don't find her, then I'm going to think it was an adult at the party.
Yeah,
that's about it. That's all. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I agree. I think Adventures with a Purpose, I'll have more of an opinion once they leave, but I won't have really like my opinion unless I have I get my feet on the ground there.
Right.
Then I'll.
People have to speak up. Even if they, I know people don't think they know anything, but really, people have to really start talking already.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's sad. And I feel like whenever I see this mom, her mom on TV, I see her, she's trying to be as upbeat as possible and trying to hold out hope, but you can see it on her face. It's not good.
Well, there's no closure because, like, I'm not going to really. I'll say something like personal. My family, like my parents, they live in New York, and Natalie Holloway's uncle used to live on their street,
mm-hmm.
in the same street, and they've spoken to him, and the family still is not in a good way. They still haven't, they have no closure, and there's going to there's going to be so many families with these cases not getting solved that they will carry their pain for years to come, and people really need to speak up and say something.
Yeah. Well, I think what will end up happening is I think they're going to end up finding, because I heard there were some road cameras, and so I have a funny feeling they're going to determine where she went. I think it's going to take some time for them to process all the videos. There's got to be some kind of video evidence, ring cameras, or CCT or some type of camera on top of some of those red lights, and hopefully they can determine that she actually was driving or left the party, or that they've identified her car leaving the area. That's kind of something that I'm really hoping that we hear.
Of course. So that's it. I'll let somebody else call in.
All right, Amy. Well, thank you for your input as always, and we'll chat soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. So I've got time for one more call. Crimes, Lies, and Lines is coming on, I believe, at 10, and they are covering, I don't know what they're covering today, but I'm sure it's something. So I would like to get off here because I know we share a lot of the same subs, and I don't want to pull you guys from one or the other. And not only that, we're going to be coming back here at 1 to discuss Dylan Rounds. We can bring this part of the conversation back up in that segment and move forward with that. So guys, for now, if you guys have not gone out, again, don't forget to go out and notify. Should be a way for you to get notifications for when the 1 o'clock and the 6 o'clock come back on. Again, we're going to have interviews with some of the searchers for Paula Miranda, as well as a family member is going to be coming on here. There is something that's going to be happening on August 18th, and anybody in and around the area, the Osceola County area, Orange County area, that wants to come out and be a part of this, please do. We are meeting in Osceola County. Give me just a second. I will post the flyer up in, I will post the flyer up in the community tab Let me just read it for all of you guys right now. So our meeting point will be at 2500 South Samoran Avenue. That's Semoran Boulevard. Excuse me, South Samora Boulevard in Orlando. They're meeting there at 9:30 in the morning. There will be sign-in with, they want signs with removable paint on vehicles. Where is Paola? They'd like signs made. Where is Paola? Sheriff, your indifference hurts. Your indifference hurts. Without detectives to do their job, community safety and security are in danger, are some of the quotes we'd like to see. Tomorrow could be, so they're basically saying today is Paola. Tomorrow it could be your daughter or loved one. You know, so we are really trying. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty.
Hey.
This is Connie Branch.
Oh, hey, Connie. How are you doing, love?
I am doing so much better. Anyway, so real quick. A few years ago, there was a Madison Bell case. She was a 16-year-old that left her car wide open in the middle of a parking lot, stuffed up the dirt all around her car to make it look like she had been abducted.
Mm-hmm.
There was a 6-day manhunt for this girl. Come to find out, she had run away from her mom and her boyfriend to be with another man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm wondering if, obviously she took her own car, this girl did. But I think she was only 16 years old, had already graduated. Don't you think maybe she has a lot of pressure and there's a possibility she did just get overwhelmed and take off?
Excuse me. Yes, there is that possibility. There's a lot of possibilities. And one of the concerning factors, and you know, again, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings about this, but you know, the photo op, it looked like she had kind of like a photo op with that black dress. They did her in a couple different locations with different landscapes behind her. But that particular photo shoot had me very concerned because her eyes, she looked like she was on some kind of substances throughout that entire photo shoot. I don't know if that is true or not. That's something with her eyes.
Also,
they didn't look right.
The theory of if she was that intoxicated, when she left that party, she went the wrong way to go home.
Yeah.
Unknowns to her. She was drunk. She turned the wrong way.
Yeah, and
I
people
think they need to be looking further the opposite direction from her home.
Because people, you know, she could have been driving just fine and passed out behind her wheel. And people are waiting for the skid marks and everything else. When you don't realize you're crashing, you're not hitting your brakes to make skid marks.
Exactly. That's what I said. I said, I believe that she went the opposite direction of her home, didn't realize it, knew there was, you know, there wasn't a turn, and all of a sudden there was a turn. She missed it, and she went right into something.
Yeah.
No skid marks at all.
Yeah. And I've seen it.
There's
I've seen it with my own eyes
there.
that it can happen. It can happen, and it has happened in the past.
That's what I'm thinking. But okay, anyway, thank you for taking
all
my
right,
call.
Connie, you have a great day. Happy Tuesday.
You too. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's our last call for right now. That's our last call for right now, guys. Because I'm going to get off here for a little bit, and then we'll be back here on at 1. But yeah, there's a lot of possibilities here. I'm just not ready to start attacking these children just yet because they're going through a lot right now. We need to take into consideration they've lost a friend. If you are a young kid, your friends are everything to you. Your friends at that age are more important than your family. Whether you want to admit it or not, it was true for me. You know, of course, as we get older, we realize how valuable and important family is. But when you're a young kid, your friends are everything, literally everything. And when you're not with your friends and your friends are not with you, it's really, really, it could be really bad. So I just want people just to give these kids just a little bit, just a little bit, that they're not these horrible, despicable people that many people are making them out to be, that something other than that has happened to Kiely. You know, and there people have brought up some good stuff. Carjacking was listed in the comments. You know, stranger danger, an older person taking advantage of a younger, intoxicated female. You know, those things are more in line with what I would like or think that this would be more in line with, as opposed to the friends concocting. Like, again, we've never heard about the infighting. We never heard about this major issue really in that group of kids. You know, the kids seemed pretty tight knit. You know, Sammy was just newly friends with this girl. It's not like they had a history, you know, angry or, you know, stuff like that. It just doesn't, it doesn't fit for me. It's like trying to push a square through a hole, you know, a circle. It's not fitting. It's not working. And, you know, people can try to make it work, but when you get down to the facts of the case, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Again, if these three were responsible for this, they would all three need to be participating in this. And we know for a fact 2 of the 3 weren't even at the party, making it next to impossible to do something like this. And the one that was at the party clearly stated she left her friend there, which made everybody very angry with her. Like, why would you leave this younger girl at this party with all these weird people that she didn't know while she was under the influence? Yes, I'm angry about that. But do I think that she did that intentionally, or that she concocted to have Kiely gone? That's too much of a stretch for me. It's too much of a stretch for me. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. They didn't know each other that well. They recently became friends. There was no animosity. They hadn't known each other long enough to have a fight or that animosity between them. So why would somebody that has no animosity for you, that you just recently met, want to cause you harm? It's clear that Jagger did not have anything to do with Sammy. They were not an item. They had never been an item. That removes that idea that this was this entanglement. The Will Smith effect, as Dolly would like to say, right? For me, you know, for me. I actually, it was kind of funny. I called Dolly on Messenger. And I said, oh, we're finally on opposite sides of this argument. I said, this will be great for debate. It's like, huh, debate? Like, you know, you saying your thing, I saying my thing. You know, we have, you know, different ideas. And it's nice. You know, I don't want people, you know, I like having, especially other creators that do have a different idea than what I do for the debate factor, for the, you know, conversation. You know, you have a more of a full photo, a full picture, a whole idea of what could have and it could have transpired, and, you know, talking those through. It's nice to have somebody to speak of those, you know. And I do like the fact that we have different ideas as to what happened. You know, I feel like it's, you know, you're not going to get the same song and dance from one person to the next. I truly do not believe these children had anything to do with their friend's disappearance. In my gut, in my mind, in my heart, if I felt it, I would tell you guys. I'm just not feeling it. I'm really not feeling it. Anyways, guys, you've heard me heckle long enough. So go check out Crimes, Lies, and Lines. Brooks, she's lovely. Don't forget Don B. Live. Great guy. Great information. Love the way he talks. Love the way he presents stuff. White Rabbit, when you're tired of all the garbage going on the streets of YouTube, go over to White Rabbit's channel to get yourself some therapy. We need our therapist in the house, and that's our White Rabbit, our lovely White Rabbit. Anyways, guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you for participating in this conversation. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for helping me. Thanks for helping the audience. I mean, this is, you know, this has a lot of twists and turns to it. There's no cut dry. Nobody's wrong here. Okay. Let me just be honest with you. Nobody's wrong. There's no wrong answers to this case because we don't know anything. And really, in the grand scheme of things, everything we're saying is speculation because we know nothing. We know nothing. Be Betty Fan is saying we need 20 more likes on this segment. So don't forget thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. Don't forget to go out there and like this segment. Don't forget to sign up and be notified for our 1 o'clock and our 6 p.m. tonight. We will see you guys really soon today. God bless you. And don't forget to be fearless. One last thing. Never do this. But I keep forgetting because I've been working. Don't forget, we're still trying to raise money for our Idaho trip to go out and see Monkey. We have really put a dent into the budget. We are now at $770 for our full budget. We've raised that much money so far. So if you guys do not do it through super stickers or super chats, because it takes me 30 days to get it, as many of you guys know, I am going to be purchasing my tickets next week for this, as well as booking the vehicle. So we still need to get that. If I can get sponsors, the majority of the sponsors for this trip have provided $10 to $50 per sponsor, per donation. So again, $10, a lot of people can really help impact this. We can really bring a message. We can really do good work in Idaho. I may even consider from Idaho going over to California to put my feet down on the Kiely case. So all the support that we can get will be used 100%. It will be transparent. You will see the work that is provided. So please consider sponsoring me and helping me out with this trip. Thank you and God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.